Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa podcast. If you're new, subscribe, drop this video a like and get involved in the comment section down below. So it's our second Up the Villa phone in. I wanted to get another one in there so we can just get this concept rolling. I've had so many of you that want to get involved, and in the new year, we'll get you all involved when the fixtures aren't here, there and everywhere and there's not a pattern. So, we'll bring in the first one then. We'll go with Ryan, making his debut on the phone in. How are you, mate?
Not too bad. Good morning, mates. We slept on that result now. How are we feeling?
I've done a player ratings episode today as well, and I spoke about how I've mellowed down a little bit, feel a bit calmer, I feel a little bit better about it, having looked at the chances, etc. But yeah, there's just something, isn't there? There's just something there that's just not quite right, whether it's personnel or yeah. What's your vibe?
Yeah, I'm strangely content after a 3-1 home defeat. My emotion keeps swinging. It swings towards the positives. And there was a lot of positives. We created some great chances, and then it swings towards the negatives where we was getting exposed on the high line. Not to say that I'd accept a 3-1 home defeat, but I feel like this time I can. I think the game was quite chaotic at times from both sides. Both teams were cut open. There's plenty of chances in the game. It was an entertaining game to watch, but I think my overriding feeling now is that it boiled down to elite players. The elite players made the difference. I sort of misjudged Liverpool's ability to regroup after the World Cup. I thought we'd be able to catch them cold, but they look fresh, they look organised, and again, that's what elite players do, can't they? And I think we got what we deserved in the end. The high line got exposed, and we didn't sort of deal with it from the off. The amount of times Salah was breaking through, Salah never caught offside either. You're going to play that high line, you can set some traps or something, but it was time and time again. Heart was in the mouth as like Liverpool player after Liverpool player was running in on goal to Olsen, who he made some good stops on them one-on-ones. He didn't like to come out his goal, and I'm thinking, Olsen, man, come out, make yourself bigger. But he is a big unit, and he did okay with them one-on-ones. Obviously, the third goal he spilt, but there were spells, Luke. There was positive spells of identity, of patterns of play, of all the chances we created. We just weren't clinical enough, and again, you can put that back to the elite players making the difference. But there's plenty to learn from. There's plenty to grow from. I think we need to move the ball quicker out of defence. I thought second half, when we was 2-1 behind, we had Liverpool pending. We was on top. Kamara was dictating, and it just went along that back line, and it was just too slow for me, Luke. Konza to Mings, both of them were slowing it down too much. Like Young would get some space, Luka Dean would get some space, but it just took an age to get to them. And by the time it did, Liverpool's full-backs, who are both world-class, were on them. So that's got to speed up. It can't be 2-3 touches along that back line when you've got the opposition pending their own half. But Boubacar Kamara, what a player, mate. What a player. I've whacked Liverpool about this double pivot. Luiz wasn't quite at it. I feel he's a bit too casual on the ball. Had some nice turns and nice touches. And obviously, his ball in for Watkins' goal was sublime. But Kamara, very, very, very impressed. What a player. What a player he could be for us. I thought McGinn was better. He's on the hard turn. Again, just lacking a bit of confidence to hit that ball at goal. You know what I mean? It was just one touch.
I think they were all a little bit like that, though, weren't they?
Yeah,
even when we was on that spell, like you were saying, when we had them pending, didn't we? They were pending, and we were playing some good stuff. It's always going to be difficult to break them down, but for me, I'd like to see a few more shots being peppered on that goal.
Yeah, it looks like they're looking for the final pass more than just have a go.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. And I'd just like to see Buendia, when we was dominant in that spell, I'd just like to see him try and just have a few shots because
Yeah.
he looks a little bit goal shy at the minute for me, Buendia. So yeah.
Braver on it, Luke, I think. Just that bravery in front of goal and having that confidence. But to be fair, they all kept going. Watkins kept going, got his reward. Bailey kept going. But yes, plenty to learn and grow from. And hopefully,
To be fair, the more I talk about it, the kind of better I feel about it. So I don't know whether it's like the Up the Villa podcast therapy session instead of phoning
therapy.
Man. Mate, it's making me feel a bit better, to be fair. But cheers for coming on, mate. And I'll speak to you soon. Ryan made some really good points, made me feel a little bit better. So we'll bring in Ivan now. So what did you make of it, mate?
Yeah, frustrating stuff, wasn't it? I think that, there was a lot of expectation. We'd all missed it so much, 50 days, since the league game at Villa Park and all that. But I just think that early goal was a bit of a killer, wasn't it? And I think that it just really deflated the stadium. And I think you could really sort of feel that. And I think that crept in then to kind of the Olsen stuff. And it's like interesting, like Ryan saying there, like people were like, come on, come out, make a decision. His kicking was poor. But it's the chances, isn't it? You watch the highlights, you watch it back again today. Plenty of chances that, Villa could have done better with. And I think that's ultimately the big frustration, isn't it? Because Liverpool, they did look good. They did look good at times, but then they're a bit of a wild team, aren't they? I mean, Trent's either banging a 60-yard pass to set up the goal or making strange errors to let us in. So, I think there was, it's a bit of a missed opportunity in some ways, but stuff to learn, as Ryan said, I think.
Yeah, and it's the finishing as well, wasn't it, Ivan? It was not there, was it?
No.
The chances were harder to miss at times, weren't they? I mean, especially Watkins. That one he missed to what he scored.
Well, the hardest one he scored, wasn't it? I mean, that header. I mean, that's a difficult chance. The way he had to kind of reach back and head that in, beyond Alisson. That's a difficult chance. And you think, that one when McGinn put it in the dive, and you just think, come on, Ollie. I mean, I personally think he played all right, and I don't. Me and my lads were debating this morning whether what the other options are, and I think that I don't think Ings or Archer brings the same thing to the team if he's going to play with that one up front. And I think Ollie works hard, but he just so frustrating for him because you think, come on, these are chances that you've got to take.
Yeah, when he missed that first one, I was kind of like, his confidence now is going to be done. And then he put that one away when he was offside, and I was kind of like, that's a decent finish, weren't it? That one he was offside, and the header, and I think overall he had a good game. I think he held the ball up well. I think he was that willing runner. And I think if that's something he can build on now, if he can build on some confidence, then I think I think he'll be all right.
Like you said as well, though, it's got if he's going to bring a variety of stuff to the team, then other people need to be scoring. And obviously Bailey's missed 2 good chances. I thought Buendia was poor yesterday. I mean, I'm not his biggest fan, if I'm honest, anyway. But I don't think he affected the game massively. I think there was some nice little nutmegs of Nunes in his own half that everyone loved. But what's the real impact? So I think that if Watkins is going to bring a wider sense to the game, and an occasional goal, then other people have got to chip in, haven't they? So it'll be interesting. If any additions do come and how that changes maybe the way that he sets up that sort of front 3-4.
Yeah, definitely. Cool, Ivan. Thank you for coming on. Does your son want to say hello?
He does, yeah.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you.
What did you
make
yesterday?
It was all right. I mean, it is Liverpool.
Yeah.
But I feel like we could have done a bit better.
Yeah, we need our shooting boots on, don't we?
Yeah.
We go again. It's all good.
We do. Oh. Cheers, Ivan. And last of all, we'll have Ellis. Bring Ellis in. How are you, mate?
I'm very good, thank you. Had time to process it.
Yeah, Ellis has been doing some brilliant stuff on our website with his written work as well. So overall then, what did you think?
I think the best word is irritating. There's signs, very little signs of what we were trying to do, but it's just not working. And there was a few decisions that I just thought was a bit questionable, like when earmarking Van Dijk on a set piece. That was always not going to go well. And then Coutinho did it after when he came on, and it was just confusing. And then another one that I thought was a bit questionable. Why is McGinn playing as a winger? I really don't understand.
I think we've seen with McPhee and set pieces that we always seem to put the small players on the big 6-footers, and then we use sort of Mings as sort of like the swing man that can sort of just come out and head everything. But I'm with you. I feel like it's a strange one when we put the little man on the big one. But was there anything you was really impressed with?
There was bits. I thought Bailey is getting in the right places. He's becoming a lot less irritating to watch, and I feel like he is a very irritating player to watch because he's wasteful and stuff like that. But he's getting a lot less irritating to watch, and he's looking like our only real attacking threat now. Because Watkins, yes, he works hard, but again, his finishing's just poor. Whereas Bailey, you're hopeful most of the time that he's going to put the ball in the back of the net. Obviously, he missed a few chances. And then Bubka Kamara, there's not much more that can be said about that, really. He's just world class, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's great to play.
He's really good. So what are your initial thoughts ahead of Spurs then?
It's going to be another difficult one, but they can be got at. And Brentford showed that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of discontent. I know for quite a few Spurs fans, and there's a lot of discontent with Conte and their inability to defend. They've conceded 2 in, I think the stat was in their last 8. I'm not entirely sure. But if we can exploit that and defend well, I think there's a chance to get at them and at least get a draw, maybe even push them for a win.
Yeah, I watched the Brentford game, and they seem to start games really slow, and they have the quality there where they can just grow into it. But it's going to be another tough game. We've got quite a few games at home as well. So I'm glad we're back. I'm looking forward to going and watching us more and more. But plenty to definitely work on. So cheers for coming on, mate.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
So there we have it, short, sweet, up the Villa phone in. Just wanted to gauge the thoughts of some other Villa fans as well. Keep this brand new concept going. Looking to have more and more Villa fans on as the concept evolves. So cheers for everybody coming on. Cheers for watching. And we'll be back now for our Spurs content, which will be coming all week as well. So subscribe if you're new. Up the Villa.